All right, here we are. It is the 12 o'clock hour. I'd like to thank you very much for listening. It's the Workday Grind. I am Tony P, your host and executive producer here at Stream 915 Studios. I'd like to thank you very much for listening. And we just turned on the live stream. And I'd like to thank you very much for now watching. We are simulcasting on Facebook, on YouTube and Twitch, as well as our Stream 915 live streaming player. And we will be speaking with Dr. Josette Platan, PhD, here in just a few minutes. But before we do, don't forget to go to stream915.com, create your free account. You'll be able to watch the replay of the Workday Grind as well as this interview here in a couple of days on Stream 915 as a replay for free, absolutely free. So you can definitely check it out. But also, you can check out the replay of our last live event, Nature Through Our Hands, at La Nube on Saturday. Was a lot of fun. Got to hang out, speak to people, talk nature, and the replay will be on stream915.com later today, as well as the nature videos that we produced for the show. You'll also be able to check it out as well. So, and don't forget, my show is live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on Stream 915 Radio. You can also catch the 915 Mix with the Murph Man every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. and Vibes in the 915 with the Murph Man every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. All right, so here we are. Check it out. Got a whole new feature, whole new graphic, whole new way of talking to my guest right here. So please welcome Dr. Josette. I can call you a doctor, right? Right? I can call you doctor. PhD, right?
Josette is good. Josette is
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yes, you can if you want.
Fair enough. All right, so I have Dr. Josette Platan, PhD, independent medical researcher and founder of Josette XMP Productions. Dr. Josette is a multidisciplinary creator whose life and work embodies resilience, transformation, and fearless storytelling. And she is also the founder and creative force behind Josette XMP Productions LLC right here in El Paso, Texas. So thank you very much, Dr. Pelletan or Josette, for joining us. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony. Please call me Josette. Doctor is such a privileged title. I don't really need it. I am no one. So
Oh, come
Josette is
on.
good.
A PhD? Are you kidding me? That's a lot of work. I went for a bachelor's and started going for my master's degree, and that was a lot of hard work. And you went all the way up to PhD. Come on.
I appreciate it, but Josette is fine.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so let's start off with you got your PhD in philosophy and interdisciplinary health sciences from UTEP. Uh, I guess one of the main things is probably are like, what is that for? How can you use that in the real world? So do tell.
Interdisciplinary health sciences is really an umbrella for many things. So you could do medical research in whatever it is that you're interested in diabetes, in neuroscience, in cardiology, but it's also an umbrella for psychiatry, psychology, social work, and public health. So that interdisciplinary research component is a big part of my life.
Okay. All right. Very very cool. And what made you want to get into that type of field? Because that's a quite a technical and a very lengthy, long degree program. So what inspired you to get into that?
Originally, I was actually studying more into political science and education. I had a fascination for linguistics, amongst other things. But then I got very sick. And so I started looking into medicine because I was desperately fending for a diagnosis of my own. And I realized through that journey that I also had a fascination for neuroplasticity. And I joined the interdisciplinary health sciences to make a case about my medical situation, which was an interesting pursuit, and I'm so thankful for it.
Okay. Yes, yes. I know that we had talked in a pre-production meeting a couple weeks ago. You were telling me that you kind of started doing a lot of medical research regarding some medical issues you were facing. Is that right?
Yes, I have a diagnosis in several countries, which is relapsing MOGAD. It's quite rare. It's somewhat similar. The symptoms are similar to multiple sclerosis. The episodes are much more severe and disabling every time. But in between relapses, the recoveries are much better. So for instance, right now I'm feeling great and I'm using that time to move forward with my production. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I get. But I started studying specifically the Utov syndrome, which is it goes with my disease. Whenever my body temperature rises, my symptoms also get triggered. So my loss of balance, of cognitive abilities, of eyesight, and of course, body temperature can be triggered by stress. And my cortisol levels have always been much higher than the norms, which makes it very hard to cope because I'm constantly stressing. So that being said, I am blessed beyond measure, and I was also able to study post-traumatic growth while experiencing it, which is people that have experienced very severe post-traumatic stress disorder recurrently, complex throughout their lives. There is about 7% of that group that experiences post-traumatic growth, which is the positive side of it, the appreciation for little things to the extreme.
Okay. So very similar symptoms, like you said, like to multiple sclerosis, high levels of cortisone. That must be pretty debilitating at times, right?
Right. So my last episode was incredibly debilitating. Last loss of balance, of eyesight, agonizing bone pain at night. And so I was also highly suicidal because I did not know what I had. And my medical diagnosis was constantly brushed off for severe PTSD, which I had, but I had this on top, and I knew that I had something else than just mental health. So it was kind of like divine intervention met post-traumatic growth because I made the decision to fend until I got that diagnosis and to become everything I ever dreamt of with it, finding purpose in that pain after recovering, obviously, because I was not able to function at all during that last episode.
Man, yeah, that's crazy. And first of all, I'm glad that you're doing better. I'm glad that you are still with us. That you didn't take your life because of this condition that you had. But what inspired me was two things. Number one is that you have been battling through this. You've been bringing awareness to it, and you started your production company to be able to address some of these issues. Am I right?
Yes, so I wrote my dissertation on this, and this contributed to me being able to find my illness, to give it a name and access to treatment. And so this is an extension to my dissertation. The production, Josette XMP LLC, has two productions. One is a documentary about that health journey, which is called Homeless with a PhD, and that is my situation. So you see that I have a roof right now, but I juggle houses, couch surfing, house sitting, and I really don't have a place of my own. I don't have a car, and I still find so much purpose. I've never been happier, more driven than I am now because I finally found my purpose. So part of it is to change the healthcare system. Whether or not it had been mental health and or MOGAD or something else, I should have been disabled long ago. But because I was so driven and always juggles juggled jobs because I couldn't keep any, that resilience worked against my disability case. And I'm still nowadays waiting for that disability case, while of course keeping purposeful and driven in that journey. The second production is much more personal. It's a featured film called The Prostitute's Daughter, which addresses again my life journey as growing up without a mother, lots of mental health concerns, having to mask throughout my life because I needed to get the job and I couldn't necessarily keep it, but I was certainly going to compete and survive. And so the negative side of this, because we tend to see hustle as such a noble thing. But then the negative side of this is that I developed such a severe condition. There is a book that's amazing. I highly recommend it to those who are interested in medicine. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. Whenever you keep on hustling and you don't address your traumas, you don't listen to your body, eventually you develop illnesses like cancer, demyelinating diseases, etc., etc.
Yeah. So when I first discovered you, because I always browse around social media to find some stories of inspiration, I always look around for people that are that naturally spark my curiosity. That's kind of why I reached out to Alonzo, which he had basically forwarded and reposted your fundraiser campaign for your production. And so, of course, it drew my attention. But when we spoke, you were telling me that you have been getting a lot of attention from an international audience. Is that right?
Yes, so I am in my momentum phase. It's been just incredible. Of course, I put a lot of work in between those naps and meditations that I desperately need to reach out to the right people. But in the past 5 months, I've been in 12 podcasts internationally. My poetry is being read weekly in Spain. I've been in several articles. Some are of medical nature, but most of them are related to my productions. And so the fundraiser for my production is a 1 in a million shot, but I have absolutely nothing to lose. And I have the patience of 10 lifetimes. So I think that I need to keep on moving with that delusional faith that I've had, and the right people will come at the right time. And if they don't, it's because there's something to be learned along the way, and I will accept it with as much grace as my heart carries.
Yes, absolutely. In case you're just tuning in, this is the Workday Grind. I am Tony P, and joining me right now is Josette Platan. She doesn't like to be called doctor, but it is. She's got a PhD. Come on, but she is an independent medical researcher in interdisciplinary health sciences, founder of Josette XMP Productions, and she is joining us here at the 12 o'clock hour here on the Workday Grind. And so, once again, I'd like to thank you, Josette, for joining me on the Workday Grind. Much appreciated. Would have been great to have you here in studio. But I'm glad that we had a chance to experiment with this side by side video. I was saying Zoom. I don't know any other way to explain it. But this was the first time actually trying this way with you. So I do appreciate us kind of seeing what it was like, and it seems to be doing pretty well so far, don't you think?
Tony, you are amazing. Yes, it worked out. I loved to be the first one to try that platform. I would have preferred in person, but again, no transportation. So
Yeah,
one of the
no, it's
things to work
okay.
around.
Now I totally understand, but you know what? The message is still getting out there, and the word is going to spread for sure because you were telling me that you had met Alonzo, which him and his wife are great people. And you essentially started your funding for your for some of your films, and that was reposted. And as I told you, we are a studio that is built upon the creator economy here in El Paso, and so when I saw it, I was like, always wanting to help fellow creators, even though they're not content partners here. But it still helps just to help spread the message and get the word out about the projects that they are doing. I had the creators of Mantis on my show a couple weeks ago, and I met them at the Alacrity Film Festival. They're content partners with Alan and Fernie. They're my content partners, and I met those two, and they came here in studio and talking about their short film. So it naturally fit pretty well for to have you on my show as well, Josette. And I'd like to ask, how is the funding efforts going on your projects?
Thank you, Tony. Yeah, Alonso is amazing. You are amazing for all you do for the community. So the fundraiser was launched, and I am not getting donations yet, but that is part of the test. That is part of the plan because I don't have a name in the game yet. So I think it might take me a couple more months to reach the right audience. I do have increasing visibility on LinkedIn. And I think this is, if I keep the momentum with faith, I will get there. Again, there's no rush. I don't have a name in the game. I keep moving steadily. I'm getting that exposure through different magazines, and it's a matter of time. So,
Yes. Yes. No, no, for sure. And obviously, with you getting an international presence, basically, and speaking to other folks on other podcasts and shows around the world, because you said that you had did one from London. Is that right?
I did one in England. My
England,
poetry
yes.
is read in Spain. And then I did one in Hong Kong recently as well with Horizon X. So the gentleman, the host is from Canada, but he's located in Hong Kong, Horizon X over there. So it's one step at a time. Again, I'm very new to this. It's been exploding for the past 5 months, and I just need to keep that faith going. The fundraising will happen whenever it does. I have to start backwards because I don't have a name in the game. So I need to get that name out there and eventually reach the right people.
Yes, yes, of course, absolutely. And as I told you before, Josette, that being a local creator here in El Paso, despite not being a content partner, I feel that it's important to help fellow creators here in El Paso to get their name out there, particularly with yours, because you have it's yours is very very educational and inspirational. And I always tell my content partners all the time that when you want to join as a content partner here at Stream 915 Studios, you got to do one of three things or all three things. You've got to entertain, you've got to educate, or you have to inspire your audience. And it seems like you have at least two of those blocks checked off with the education aspect and the inspirational aspect. And so, always want to make sure that we can help you spread the word about your projects and your history, and of course your situation across however we can through our channels here at Stream 915 Studios. So I'd like to ask, what is next for you? Like, what? I know you said you're going to keep up the momentum here, and obviously you probably have got some other interviews and whatnot booked up and everything. But despite that part, what is your what would you like to do? Like, where do you see yourself here in the next year to 5 years?
Thank you, Tony, for asking. Well, in 5 years, I will definitely, no question asked, have both productions out, fully made. I'm walking with that delusional faith. Like you said, I am scheduled for several more podcasts in the month to come. The visibility is increasing, and all of those podcasts are going to be sharing those fundraisers. So even though people are not yet giving, they are referring me out. Same thing, I'm scheduled for a few more articles because my story is very unusual. I am the first disabled female producer on food stamp with no transportation, no income, doing this out of community support, amazing people like Alonso, amazing people like you, Tony. So this is part of that overcome a journey and ultimate underdog producer, I'd like to say.
Yeah. Well, when you told me that, Josette, kind of sounds like a normal path for a struggling artist, right? Because you being an artist and having a history and creating your wanting to create your content, you kind of fit the bill of just like all of us of the struggling artists trying to get their word out, trying to send the message, and trying to earn a living and a revenue off of your projects. So yeah, we're all right there with you.
Yes, I know that you get it, Tony, and
I
I'm
do. I
sure
really
that
do.
we're gonna make it together at different times, divine timing, different divine way. But I'm
Yeah,
rooting for you as well and Alonso.
I appreciate that. Yeah, because yeah, we you know the what's unique about us too, and I think I can relate to you because of the fact that our we're on the same path, but with two different ways of doing it. With you, with your condition and your situation, and with us being so new at doing what we're doing right here. We are literally here in our studio inside the shops of Solana. And I'll show you, as you saw already, uh, there's people walking by and don't know what in the hell is going on in here. They see lights and they see me, and we try to explain to them all the time. We're like the Netflix of El Paso, and they just kind of look at me like, huh? I don't get it. What do you mean? What's there to not understand? It's a video. It's a streaming media platform, and we're a studio. We create that stuff, and they're just like, oh, okay, yeah. And they don't. It doesn't click. It's so I understand what you're saying, that it needs time to really kind of sink into people as far as what our objectives are. But the only way to do that, just like you and like us, is to get out there and to just keep getting that brand awareness, doing as much interviews and speaking arrangements as you possibly can, so you can brand yourself, and then eventually that revenue will make its way into your hands and into your purse, so you can continue to do what you're doing with your productions and creating your projects and films. Am I wrong when I said any of that stuff?
No, you are on point, Tony. You get it. You have that vision. You need to keep it alive regardless of whether people do see it or not, and continue with that delusional faith.
Yes, yes, yes. It's definitely delusions of grandeur for sure. I'm hoping that the bubble doesn't burst, and I'm left without succeeding. But I like you. Our, momentum is building, and I really want us to be able to share our experiences and obviously meet each other in person one day, so you can meet my fiance Tanya and see how wonderful she is too, but also see the atmosphere that we are creating here at Stream 915 Studios, because we have many content partners that are great people. They come and they participate, like I was saying early in the show, that we were just at La Nube this past weekend doing Nature Through Our Hands event for our content partner Rafina, who happens to be the owner of DIY Workshop El Paso. And so we were there to live stream the event and provide our support for her, and just further get the name out there. So definitely want you to come and see us and say hi and meet as many people as you can. I told you before that we are, and I made the announcement officially on Saturday of our Screen and Share Summer Edition here at CFAM, right across from our studio. And I hope that you would consider coming as a guest and attending the Screen and Share Film Festival with us, so you can just help tell your story to the audience, content partners, and so much more.
Thank you, Tony. I would love that. Would love to meet your fiance and everybody that you work with in our beautiful community of El Paso. As far as the summer goes, I know that I would need my trailer to be done, and that's a lot of money and logistic that I need to align. If I have it, more than happy. And if I don't, perhaps I can come and support you all.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Is there, as we start to kind of close out this interview with you, Josette, I'd like to find out here in El Paso directly. I know you've been telling me that you've been getting some international attention from Spain, Hong Kong, London, everything. What's the vibe been for you here at the local level here in El Paso?
the question for me? I'm not sure I understood that wording.
Yeah, so we have, you've been a guest on many different podcasts and shows in
Ah,
different
okay.
countries. I just wanted to get the what your the vibe has been for you here in El Paso locally, like as far as getting the attention here around town.
Okay, I have been in one magazine in El Paso, which is the Meet Me Here magazine in two editions, and I have been in two podcasts. Um, Both of them wonderful, very different flavor. One is mostly related to healthcare, and the other one is very artistic, more focused into the homeless community, exposing the situation of people. So yeah, my visibility has been stronger outside of El Paso so far, and I think it has to do with funding, that El Paso doesn't necessarily have funding to reach out to people who can't afford to pay. And so to be in magazines, same things, right? A lot of times they expect you to pay for articles, and I do not have the means, so I have to be invited and make sure that people understand that, okay, I'm welcoming the opportunity if you understand that I do not have the means to pay anything. So I think El Paso needs to also do more exposure of people who might not have the means but have the drive and the desire. And yeah, it will come in divine timing.
Yeah, the thing with El Paso, and I've lived here. I grew up here in El Paso, so I can say this with whole accuracy as being growing up here in El Paso, and also being a business owner. It takes time. I always joke that El Paso is about 10 years behind the rest of the world, and I've lived in other parts of this country as well as the world. And I got to tell you that El Paso is usually about 10 years behind things. So it's not surprising that it doesn't catch fire right away. And it's not surprising considering your situation and our situation that it takes time with the El Paso community to wait for us to brand 1,000 times before they decide to embrace it. But based on my situation, when I was saying earlier that we're building our audience in a totally unique way, and I hope that with in your situation that you will continue to make your rounds and circulate around El Paso because obviously that gets your attention. You live here, right? And then of course, but like you said, the funding aspect is how it's going to trickle to is more than likely going to start out of state or even out of country, and then it'll eventually make its way back here to El Paso, right?
Absolutely. I mean, El Paso is my home. Don't get me wrong. I do have a French name and a French accent, but I've been here a long time and my heart is here. And I also completely understand, right? The community has so many priorities. I'm privileged beyond measure. Why should they give to a production company when you have so much need in our community? So I'm not taking it personally. I think things happen however they need to happen, and I have that patience and drive, and I continue my road.
Yes.
I'm not afraid of being denied. That's part of the journey. So I'll keep on asking around until somebody says yes.
Yes, and I do believe that it is a part of God's plan, and God does have a plan for all of us. And when I started my journey with actually doing things the way I have been doing this way, things have definitely been setting in a great direction for us. It's just it is definitely a hurry up and wait It's a hurry up, wait and hope situation. And so, but like you said, if you have really nothing to lose, it can all go up from here, and that's kind of the same way that I feel too. And I tell my content partners all the time. I was like, look, it's one listener, one viewer, one user at a time. We can win the hearts and minds of one person, at least one person per day, to come and join and see what we're doing with our movement and of content creators at the local level. Then that's what we're going to do. That's our mission. So we don't over exceed our expectations, and like you, right? You got nothing to lose. It's all up and up, right?
Exactly. Yes. I'm in a great place because that's total freedom. A lot of people tend to feel sorry for me because I don't have a bed, because I don't have a car, because I can't buy myself a haircut. That's something very basic, right? And I'm actually happier than most people because I'm living my dream and I know exactly where I'm going. I just don't know how it's going to happen, and I don't know exactly what God timing will be. But I am so free and happier than most, and healthy, most importantly. I now listen to my body with guilt-free, shame-free. I've let go of societal expectations. And number one is my health, and number two is my purpose. I have
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yes, of course, and I'm glad you said that, Josette, because I feel the same way. I definitely am. I've I've pretty much lived my entire life broke and poor, unfortunately, and so when you've lived that for so long, it's one of those situations where it's just you don't really you don't really think about anything else other than making sure that you're happy in your relationship and your health. And I have a great relationship with my son. I have a wonderful relationship with my fiance. I have a great rapport and that I've built over the past few months with content partners and business people. And it's that right there just is enough for me to say that this is this is good for me right now, and everything else at this point is all bonus.
That's wonderful, Tony. That makes me very happy, and I'm rooting for you. You're going to do great things with the El Paso community.
So are you. What are you talking about? You don't tell me about it.
We are,
You're on
you're
my
right.
show. Come on. Let's do this together, right?
You're right. We are. We are going to do great things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Of course. Now you're gonna do great things, and I like to have you again when you're you know I'm not gonna feel sorry for you or anything else because that's not what you need because you're happy and your things are great things for you. But just know that you can always come here, hang out with us here at Stream 915 Studios. And if you ever need anything, just you have my contact number. Just let me know, and we'll see what we can do as far as making things happen for you. Do you have any closing thoughts for today's interview as we start to wrap this up?
Thank you, Tony, for everything. You are an amazing person. I never doubted it because Alonso referred me to you, I think, and Alonso is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would just tell people that not settling for less has made me happier than I've ever had, and I wish everybody to find that inner strength to let go of other things, the material things, which seem so important to a lot of people. That freedom is priceless because it will come eventually, but it will come the right way.
It will come eventually. You're right, and it will come with perseverance and hustle. If and I get people that walk in to my studio all the time, and one in particular, they're always asking me the same thing. Are you going to help me with my YouTube content? I'm like, no, I'm not going to help you with your YouTube content. I'm going to help you with your content that will get put on this on our platform, not for you to get likes and subscribes and views, but for you to actually earn revenue and money for your hard-earned projects. And because I believe that if this is something that you're really passionate about doing, you're going to hustle for it. You're going to persevere, and you're not going to hashtag and keyword your way to success. You have to get out there, and whether you're passing out flyers or doing, multiple appearances on different podcasts and interviews like you are, Josette, you're still hustling and you're still getting out there. And it's one of those situations where if you continue to grind it out and hustle it, perseverance will make its way to you if you're willing to hold out long enough. Am I right?
Yes, calculated hustle because naps and meditation are very important for my health.
Indeed, yes, indeed, for sure. So, yeah, Josette, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us here on the Workday Grind. Very much appreciated. Obviously, this was live, and it's also recorded, and it'll be on stream915.com as a replay. So feel free to check yourself out. Feel free to use the share button on our platform to spread the word about this interview. And I really hope that you come by and say hi, you come see us, and let us know the progress and let us know if there's anything you need from us to help you on your journey along the way.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you for everything, Tony. We'll meet
Yes, yes, absolutely. So, all right, when we come back here, we will.
Can you hear me, Tony?
Story. Hold on.